Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to your reading for the week. Oh, no, this is for January, just kidding, of 2025. You have this Truth Be Told card and this Mending card. Yeah, I don't know, it's getting boring at this point, but pretty much every single person has had something about healing in their reading for the month of January. So, it could just be a good time for healing or healing through something. You even have that Three of Swords as your first card. And the Three of Swords doesn't have to be a breakup or a separation, even though we have the Lovers here. The Three of Swords, those swords are in your own heart. And so the trick with the Three of Swords is to remove those swords from your heart. And usually we do this by forgiving the past. And you don't have to forgive a person or anything directly. You just have to forgive them in your heart, and then you can heal. The Three of Swords can also just represent, being healthy or healing in general, or needing to stay healthy. So, I think it would be a great time for you to focus on health, or, a great time to focus on healing. I want to talk about this card here. The Truth Be Told card, we see this owl, and its chest is open with this window here in the middle. And so it kind of represents like living your truth or being in your truth, which I think would also kind of be an excellent idea with the Truth Be Told card. So I would make sure that you are like staying in your truth. You have the Three of Swords, the Lovers, and the Two of Pentacles. The Three of Swords can represent like a separation or a breakup, but really I think this is mostly just talking about you healing or going through healing. You have the Eight of Swords here, and again, the Eight of Swords can be like self-imposed restriction. It can be you only seeing one way of doing things. And sometimes, again, I think that if we're like hurt or if we're dealing with something, it can make it hard to see all the options or the ways that we can get out of restriction. So I think that's why it's saying it. So, that's why it seems like there's so much energy here about healing. You even end with the Empress, which is all about self-care. So it might just be a great month for you to focus on yourself and take care of yourself so that you can be set free with that Eight of Swords. You have the Lovers. Could be love, but, the Lovers is also your card, Gemini. So whenever you show up as yourself, it kind of puts you in a position of power and strength and really allows you to get what you want from the reading. I also, I do feel like there is a little bit of love here. So if you do want love, it looks like communication to me because we have the Eight of Wands also showing up. And so some of you could be like talking to a new person or communicating with a person. You have the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles is kind of like work hard, play hard. So if you are working too hard at this time, maybe you need to start playing harder, or maybe you need to enjoy yourself some more or take care of yourself some more. I think all of that would be good with the Two of Pentacles. I do feel like there is like a choice that you're going to be making, but I also feel like saying that it's almost not even worth mentioning because, we go up to the Nine of Cups to the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is just a very focused energy. It's like you being focused in on one choice that you're making. So I don't know. I kind of feel like if you, maybe this is one of those things where you've been trying to make a decision, but the reading is saying this month you are making the decision, and maybe that's why it feels like very straightforward to me. I don't think you're struggling to make this decision at all. So, whatever this choice is, it looks like you're going to make it, which is probably good. With the Three of Swords, you have the Strength card. Strength is about developing strength, and with the Strength card, we have to quiet our inner voice or our inner critic. This lion right here is submitting to this lady, and that lion represents her inner critic or her inner voice. So a lot of you could be taming your inner beast or whatever you want to call it, so that it listens to you. And the Strength card is a great card because, if you develop that strength where you quiet your inner voice and you are the one that's in control, you can basically get a lot more done. With the Lovers, you have the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords is like a never-ending nightmare, round and round situation. I would definitely say with the Eight of Swords here that if you are in some sort of round and round situation, I would get out of it, or I would end it in some way. It doesn't even have to be love. This could literally be anything in your life. But again, the Nine of Swords is about needing to remove yourself from, a round and round situation. With the Two of Pentacles, you have the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles is like a card of stability. The Four of Pentacles this guy is sitting here and he is in a very stable position. Now, normally I'm not the biggest fan of the Four of Pentacles because usually he is kind of like holding on too tightly to something from the past. But in your reading, I actually feel pretty good about this. I really feel that it's just saying that you are focusing on your own stability. And remember what we just said about this reading. It really kind of seems to me like you are the focus of the reading, which, of course, it's a Gemini reading. But, what I mean by that is it's like you are the one that is kind of, everything is coming from you this month, like all your decisions, your choices, the things that you're doing. So I think this is good because, it just feels to me like you're coming from a more like stable position. Next in the area, what are we doing again? I forgot. We are going to be looking at, what actions can you take to have the best start to 2025 in January? You have this Fleeting Flare Path card. It says, something in your life will be brief, not meant to stay in your life forever. You have this Phoenix Rising. It says, you've been through the fire and rising up anew. Embrace life in a deeper way. So yes, I think a lot of you are embracing, experiences in your life in a deeper way, and I feel that is a good thing. With the Eight of Swords, again, that Fleeting Flare Path card said something is not going to last forever. And so if you have been feeling stuck, like I said earlier with that Eight of Wands, I think that you could be making decisions or a choice very, very quickly here. And it's almost like you're setting yourself free. I will tell you this, that the Eight of Wands is showing up in this third row. The third row is going to represent challenges that you could be facing at the beginning of 2025, but we're also going to be looking, of course, at solutions because tarot is not set in stone, and you can make choices to avoid these challenges, and that's the whole point of telling you about them. But having said that, I feel very good about that Eight of Wands, even though it's coming up in a challenge position. Like I said earlier, it kind of seems to me like you're just making a choice. You're just making a decision to set yourself free. And, I think that would be great with the Eight of Swords. You have the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is about getting into alignment. It's a 9-year, 2025. 9 is a very spiritual number. But 9, I think of 9 as like the ego. Because 9, it's kind of like a completion number. I always say that the Tibetan Buddhists consider 9 to be the last number, not 10. So, in a lot of ways, I think that, it's a 9-year. We could be wrapping things up, but I also think that we need to look at our ego's connection to things, to the things that we're working on, or to the things that we are trying to create and all that other stuff. And I'm sorry, Gemini, not that you need to know this, but I had like a couple of hairs sticking up on the top of my head. And so this morning, like an idiot, I shaved them and all the hair went down my back, and my back itches like you cannot believe. I just had to tell somebody. So there you go. If you see me going like that, that's why, because the hairs are driving me crazy. But anyway, moving on, Gemini, the Nine of Cups is kind of like just about being in fulfillment and matching the energy of what you want. The Empress is very good at matching the energy of what she wants. So that's what I would basically be doing with that Empress energy, is I would be, kind of getting into alignment. You have the Five of Swords. I feel that it would be a good time for you to take some bigger risks. Only a couple of signs this month have had this message where, it's like if you're going to do something, I would really do it. Like if you're going to do something, make that like 110% commitment. For whatever reason, I just feel like, if you just like try something and just dip your toes in the water, that maybe it just won't do as well as it could. I think if you make that full commitment to like one thing, like one goal, one wish, one thing that you're trying to accomplish, I think that will really make the difference. And, the Five of Swords, is my card of taking risks. And so, I think that's really what you have to do here with this card. With the Eight of Swords, you have the Wheel of Fortune. Again, it is a time where we all could take control and change our fortunes. I always say the wheel is always spinning, and it's, for most people, they don't even try to control it. So their life is spinning out of control. With the Wheel of Fortune, we can control the direction of the wheel by doubling down on the good stuff that happens to us, but also taking care of the challenges that appear very, very quickly. So I would definitely do that with the Wheel of Fortune energy showing up here. I would also say that with the Eight of Wands, Eight of Wands is about picking a direction and making it your focus. All those wands are going in one direction. They cannot pull themselves apart. If you are kind of like pulling yourself apart, then you're going to be pulling yourself apart. I think if you just move in a direction, then you'll get a lot more done. And the Wheel of Fortune is similar in some ways. With the Nine of Cups, you have the Knight of Swords. The interesting thing about the Knight of Swords is that he's always running to the past. So sometimes in a reading, I feel like the Knight of Swords is getting to like a certain point, like he is here with the Hierophant in the reading, and then he's running away from whatever this is. So the Hierophant would represent education. And so if you're trying to do something, or if you're trying to accomplish a goal, I feel like the Knight of Swords is saying that maybe you get to a point where you just don't know what to do. And I feel like this is saying, like, don't run away. It's saying, basically, if you don't know something, learn about it, and you will overcome, that knowledge barrier, or whatever you want to call it. With the Five of Swords, you have the Page of Cups. Again, there is a little bit of love here, so if you do want love, there could be a new connection. I definitely feel that with the Eight of Wands, that there is... that this is something that's starting as communication or just talking. So, that it could be one of those things where you just start talking to a person, or you just start with communication. Next, in the area of the challenges that you could be facing at the beginning of the year, and of course, how to overcome them, you have the Strength card and this Transition card. You probably are at a transition place in your life, Gemini, and I think you have the strength to go through it. So I would just keep going, keep on trucking here, Gemini. That's kind of the lame message that I'm getting here. So I would just keep going. You have the Eight of Wands, the Hierophant, and the Three of Cups. The Eight of Wands is, of course, quick success. And again, I really don't feel this is a challenge. Again, I don't force the reading. I listen to my intuition. So even though I label these rows like challenge, blah, 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 all this other stuff, I listen to my intuition. Intuitively, I feel like this is good. I don't think this is a challenge at all. I think this is saying that you focusing in one direction, maybe if you can't focus, maybe that's a challenge, but, I really feel pretty good about this. I feel like you are picking like one thing that you want to focus on this month, or, you are trying to accomplish something, and you're kind of like sending your energy at that, at the thing that you're trying to accomplish. And by doing that, you will probably accomplish it faster. So that's exactly what I would do with the Eight of Wands. You have the Hierophant. The Hierophant can represent learning, or, the Hierophant is kind of like a teacher. So like I said, I think part of the challenge here with the Hierophant is going to be self-education, because of that Knight of Swords running up to the Hierophant. The other problem with the Hierophant, especially right now, because we have Neptune and Pisces, Neptune and Pisces is a direct challenge to traditional belief. And so, part of Neptune and Pisces is that we were all raised, believing certain things, whatever, about like money, love, business, whatever, based off of our experiences. And Neptune and Pisces is, I believe part of it is trying to get us to break free from those beliefs, like, whatever they are. And that can be a challenge, because again, when you have a tradition, when you have done something for so long, it is hard to break those things down. So, again, a lot of you could just be, breaking those beliefs down, and that's it. You have the Three of Cups. I mean, I guess it makes sense that some of you could be dealing with challenges with people. You had Mercury retrograde in your opposite sign, Sagittarius. And so, communicating with people, or there could have been issues communicating with people. And I'm not really sure what I'm getting here on the Three of Cups, because it's almost like you're just thinking about it. It's almost as if you're not really doing anything about it. But I also don't think that's a bad thing, Gemini. Do you really need to do something about this? Probably not. If you have dealt with issues or problems or challenges, like with a person, I'm not so sure that you necessarily need to clear things up or any of that stuff. So, yes, I guess that's really all I got here for you. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Moon. So, this could be part of the challenge with the Eight of Wands. The Moon is a lack of clarity, and the Moon is part of the Fool's journey. The Moon has to go from here all the way down to these mountains, and those mountains kind of represent an accomplishment, or something that he could accomplish if he gets to those mountains. So I think a lot of you could be trying to accomplish things or achieve things at this time, and, kind of like the path might not be clear. That's the whole point of the Moon, is that it's kind of like the Fool has to go down this path, and it's the universe is trying to get him to trust his vision. He has an idea of something he wants to accomplish, but the universe isn't going to be like, yes, you're going the right direction every step that he takes. He has to learn that he has to trust himself on his journey. And so I think a lot of you are learning to trust yourself. You have this Truth Be Told card. This card is basically saying that the universe is telling you, if something is your truth, then you need to, make that full commitment, like we said down here, And you need to see it through to the end no matter what, even if you can't see clearly. And I think that's what it's saying. With the Hierophant, you have the Nine of Wands. Definitely a time to not give up. I think 2024 was interesting. 2024 is an 8-year. And, based off of it being an 8-year, I think people maybe felt, 8 is infinity. We put energy into something, we get energy back. But it's almost like 2024, we put energy into things and maybe we got crumbs back from the things we put energy into. But it's almost like, again, part of me feels that 2024 was the universe. I don't think the universe really tests us or anything, but, part of me feels like the universe was kind of like, do you really want this thing that you're working towards? Because if you're not willing to do it for crumbs, then you don't really want to do it. And that's not a criticism, right? It's like, I think we need to be honest with ourselves. Truth be told, you need to tell yourself the truth. Like, if you're working on a project and it's not working, it's almost like the universe was testing whether we really want something or not. I guess the good news is that I think a lot of us could be getting those results for the work that we did if we stuck with something this year in 2025 and moving forward. So I definitely don't give up on something you want. With the Three of Cups, you have the Six of Swords. Six of Swords moving on to calmer shores. So again, I kind of feel like this could also be an improvement or things getting better for you. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Owl Spirit. It says, you see clearly now, which is great. You have an owl on the Truth Be Told card. So, and you have the Moon, which is not clarity. So you could be getting clarity on your journey. You have this Cow Spirit. It says, the miracles are endless. So there definitely could be miracles coming in for you right at the beginning of the year. I kind of feel like the miracles that you could be having are more like little breakthroughs. So, would you consider that a miracle? Maybe. I don't know. But it feels good. So I think these little miracles could be a good thing for you. You have the Eight of Cups, the Empress, and the Chariot. It's kind of like, I don't know, sometimes I think we get pushed to that point where we've been walking through darkness like he is here on the Eight of Cups. And then, something happens where we kind of say, you know what, if I'm going to be in darkness, I'm going to enjoy it. I'm just going to suck it up and I'm going to deal with it. And, that's kind of the energy I get off of this Eight of Cups. You're like, you know what, if things are going to suck, I'm just going to embrace the suck. I'm just going to go through it. And it's almost like a switch is getting flipped when you have that, breakthrough where you're just saying, you know what, I'm just going to make the best of this situation. And it's almost like because of that, things are going to be improving for you very quickly. You have the Empress, and the Empress, of course, can represent being in Empress mode, having a glow up, kind of feeling good. The card of self-care, card of abundance is where I was going with that as well. And so I think a lot of you could be getting abundance for what you've been working on, especially if you've been getting crumbs, like I said earlier. And, obviously that is a good thing. You have the Chariot. The Chariot can be a victory or a big win coming in for you. So I do feel like a lot of you could be having some sort of big win or a big victory at this time. A lot of people have had the Chariot, and I think that if there were ever a year where we should really be working to set ourselves apart, to be unique, then I would really say between 2025 and 2033 is a really good time to cement a new reality for yourself. And so, again, if you want to become something more than you are right now, then I would just start acting as if you are whatever that thing is, and I think it's a great time to kind of reality shift or whatever right now. With the Eight of Cups, you have the Two of Cups. Definitely could be a person coming in for you. The Two of Cups would be someone who's different than your usual type. So I would stay open to, finding love in a different way. With the Empress, you have the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is fulfillment and wish fulfillment. It's fine. We were talking about the Nine of Cups with the Empress. The Empress really is in the energy of the Nine of Cups. She is the thing that she wants to be. She's not even acting as if. I don't like when people say fake it till you make it. I think you should just be the thing you want to be. Just do it. Adopt the habits of success and you will be successful. And, I think this is a great combination of energy because it's kind of saying that that's what you're doing. With the Chariot, you have the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups in the good stuff is kind of ultimate or unlimited possibilities. And so you could be, really opening up to possibilities in your life. And, I think that would be really good for you. You have this boot card. It says, increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. Yes, I think, again, 110% commitment to what you want to accomplish is what that Five of Swords was saying to me. Normally, the Star card is what really says that to me, but, again, I read intuitively, and that's what I was getting off of that Five of Swords, is like, you need to make that 110% commitment to whatever it is that you're trying to do. You have this February card and this egg card. It says, success assured with good plans and hard work. Yes, you could be much more successful by the month of February with your plans and by sticking to a plan with the Eight of Wands. You have this Tiger card. It says, doing something risky, taking a chance. Almost every single person has had a card of risk. I don't think we're really taking a risk. I'll tell you this. During Pluto and Aquarius, the biggest risk we can take that would actually be beneficial is the risk of being wrong, the risk of saying something wrong, or the risk of kind of like standing out, right? Like those are the types of things that will probably feel risky to people during Pluto and Aquarius, is like the risk of speaking up at work and being wrong about what you say, the risk of public speaking, the risk of, starting a YouTube channel and trying to stand out, or, whatever the case may be. So, those are the types of risks I would be taking. You have this chain card. It says, chain of events that will affect your life. I think you're like kind of connecting the dots here. I think you're seeing how the things that you've been through are all adding up to like a big picture. And, obviously that is a good thing. Your last card's pretty funny. It says, control your anger or you will be sorry. Mars retrograde, right? With Mars retrograde, we shouldn't be flying off the handle or freaking out or any of that stuff. So this looks really good. I need to take a shower and wash this hair off. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. And definitely enjoy your month.